So today's subject, I'm going to jump us straight in. No, I'm not going to jump us straight in onto pre-order Palooza.
All right, make your mind up.
No, I'm not. I want to jump into the fear of missing out because something stuck out to me on eBay earlier today. I saw it on a page on Facebook. I think it was a 4K collectors group or something like that. But it came up and someone was asking if it seemed a reasonable price for this thing. And I thought, I'm going to have a look at this because this price, it can't be real. And it made me question, is the fear of missing out driving prices? Now, this Cinemuseum edition of Batman and Batman Returns with a little toy car. I've not looked up what the toy car is. I don't know if it's plastic or die cast or whatever, but it's a tiny thing. You can see on the picture. It's no bigger than a DVD really on there. But look at that price, £297 for 2 movies, which are 4K Steelbook, which we know Steelbooks are carrying quite a premium, but 2 movies that are out in other formats, £300. And you were quite shocked at that price as well, weren't you, really?
I mean, my instant reaction was as well, it's not very nice artwork either.
No.
And, you know, that's with 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen, Phil.
Okay, so I thought I'm going to follow this along because that £300 seems ridiculous. I don't know if anyone anyone watching along, do you know the prices of these Cinemuseum editions and what they fetch? Because this, to me, it seemed ridiculous. This was with 5 minutes left. It was at £300. Once it finished, that sold for £410. 410. That's for the two 4K movies in a Cinemuseum box with a little toy plastic or die-cast car. £410. What would you do? Would you spend that much kind of money on a release? Is it the fear of missing out because it's a Cinemuseum edition that's sort of driving that sort of price?
You know, if that was like my favourite film of all time, and don't get me wrong, I do like those films, but even if it was, I'd look at it and go, nah, I don't really like that artwork.
No.
Irrelevant of, I mean, I don't know how much it cost when it first came out. It probably sold out very quickly, as these things do. But, I mean, £410. So then we started sending each other sorry, I'm just messing with my microphone. I've realised something's fallen over and it's adjusted my desk ever so slightly. We started sending each other really nice life-size busts of Batman, things like that were less cost. There we go, look.
There's a couple there.
Really nice pieces. You could have the one on the left, for example, and just buy the 2 4K separately for like £2 for £30. I think they're in now. Yeah.
I mean, you could
I would rather have that than that really ugly biscuit tin with a little Matchbox car.
I mean, for the £410 for the 2 movies and the Matchbox car, you could get both of those busts and both of the movies on 4K, albeit not Steelbook edition probably, but yeah, I'd rather have something like that than the Cinemuseum box. I might be missing something. Is there something about these Cinemuseum boxes that make them worth a premium, such a premium? Is it the fear of missing out because they're now unavailable that's driving people to pay these just frankly ridiculous prices?
If you want to go full screen for a moment, you can do, because I'm going to adjust my desk because it's quite annoying. Sorry.
I want to put you on full screen so we can have a laugh at you.
No, clearly that's not a good idea.
You know, I can still see you in your little box, so I can crotch. We don't need to crotch. I don't stop. Yeah, I just don't understand because I personally.
You're talking about my crotch. Can you not say little box?
I can try.
Thank you.
Yeah, I personally would have one nice piece and get the individual 4K sets. I wouldn't want to pay 410 quid for one release. It just, to me, it seems ridiculous. So anyway, I'm going to jump back to comments while Glenn's faffing with his desk. I can still hear you, Glenn.
I know you can still hear me. Everyone can still hear me. I'm aware. Yeah. Right, there we go.
I'm going to jump back to comments just to see if anyone else is commenting on this as well. Big Jace. Oh, Nicholas Dickens is with us as well. Good evening, Nicholas.
Hey, Nicholas.
Very well as well. Big Jace, that Batmobile from that angle doesn't look like Keaton's one. doesn't it? I've not paid much attention to it because I
think it's just a very bad version of the Keaton one, to be honest.
Yeah,
With a horrible, because it's got like the jet engine thing at the front, hasn't it?
Yeah, it looks
really
like
horrible bat symbol plastered on it by the looks of it.
Cheap plastic. It looks horrible. Slipknot fans here with us as well. Good evening, Slipknot.
Hey, Slipknot.
Jeremy, selfishness and strictly biscuit tin collectors are driving up prices.
It's ugly artwork as well, though. Not an attractive thing. It's not. I don't know.
It's going back to the labels, though, isn't it? People are paying for those labels. The Cine Museum, what else have we got? We've got the film vaults. We've got Blue Fans editions and things like that. And now people are sort of linked onto the labels. These things are selling at premium purely because of the name on the box.
What else is there? Nova Media. There was one I was trying to remember last week, and you said what it was, and I can't. It wasn't Manga, not Mondo. Starts with an M. Phil has 3 steelbooks that are all the identical film.
Yeah.
I can't think what it's called.
I can't either, so I'm going to carry on. Nicholas Dickens, there's a name for most of this kind of fear of missing out stuff. Tat. Absolutely. Nicholas Dickens, you can get a 1-1 go of Batsuit for that.
Maybe we should all buy ourselves a Batsuit.
Yeah. I think Lynn might have seen when you stood up to change your desk as well. Hello, you pair. I'm assuming that was aiming at you.
I've only got one.
Right. Jerry Carr, love those statues. I don't know if you think the same, Jeremy. I would rather have a statue like that than the big box Cine Museum edition of the movies and a little car.
A little teeny weeny Matchbox brum brum car.
Yeah.
Like we're all 8 years old.
AJ Pink, steelbook collectors are a different breed. They are. They'll go mad for any release.
True.
And I dread to think how many different steelbooks, different editions of the same movie that people collect. Really, because I've seen some of them get released 3, 4, 5 times before now.
And thank you, John Robinson. Manta Lab, correct.
That's the one.
That's what I was trying to remember. So close to Manta, but wrong.
Cameron of Doom, more of a status symbol than anything. I think that's what it boils down to with these sort of box sets. With any of them that have the label on, it's the status of owning it.
Well, it's as soon as the company says, "Oh, we're only doing 300 of these or something." It's that I'm one of those 300 in the world. Yeah. Who cares about that? Only the other 299 people. Yeah. Nobody else cares.
Big Jace has just sent a couple of the box set things on there. Look, I don't know if you can see those.
So €349.
Yeah. And then there's a Catwoman one.
Is that not the reverse of the same one?
Or... I don't know. I think that is the same one, pretty much.
I think it's probably the reverse art, isn't it? That's all.
It's crazy. Going through the comments. Clothes probably put on pants. Absolutely.
I don't wear them.
Nicholas Dickens. Do you know that if they did this to The Flash, it'd sell out 2, and that's just rubbish?
I feel that about a lot of films. A lot of films, they just churn them out and go, hey, it's a limited edition biscuit tin, and you get this, that, and the other, and people just go, I'll buy that.
Yeah. Brian Smith, I bet that £410 Batman collection is never even played on a player. It'll just sit on a shelf for years.
Well, I wasn't sure was that actually brand new? I wondered whether the car actually comes in the box or something.
It looked like it was just it was outside of
separate in a plastic bag.
I don't think it's even boxed. Jeremy jumping just ahead of what I was going to talk about. But so, does anyone know if the new Trancers 4K is a new transfer or the same? I know it's got the 3 new interviews, new slipcover art and booklets. Jeremy, I don't think it is. I think it's pretty much a port over from the existing US one. I think some kind of deal was done, but 101 Films were able to add more extras on there from what I understand. I could be wrong, but my understanding is it's the same in terms of transfer.
I was going to say, there's no way we're going to get around not mentioning Trancers this week.
I've got a slide ready for it.
Yeah, go for it.
It's the very next slide. I was just catching up with comments, but Jeremy jumps ahead every time. Every time.
Jeremy knows what we're about to say before we say it. That's why.
Yeah, that's true. Nicholas, I'd rather get Hot Toys Batman and Batmobile for that price. Absolutely. Jeremy, definitely statues of a fantasy physical media package and a Hot Wheels car.
Yeah.
Yes. Woody, Jeremy is on it early this week. He is. He's always on it early. Always supporting the show.
Yeah.
Nicholas, it'll poop on a shelf oxidizing. That means rusting. Absolutely.
No, you see, it won't, because it will remain wrapped in cellophane, so no moisture will get to it whatsoever.
No.
So it will always stay rust free, but it will still always be crap.
I would like to see
wrapped up.
I would like to see some rusty steel books if anyone has one. I've not seen a rusty one. Everyone mentions them rusting over time. I've not seen one yet. But,
oh, do they? Oh, okay.
Yeah. If anyone has any rusty steel book pictures, then feel free to send them.
Who's he anyway?
Huh?
Rusty Steelbook. Who's he?
I don't know.
Does he comment?
He's been in the chat before.
He's been in the chat. Okay.
Yeah. John Thompson, with pre-orders, are the labels using initial sales figures to gauge how many discs they need to press? And have you ever been paid? Have you ever paid over the odds for a second-hand film because they've not pressed enough? I think I've seen it before with not boutique, not limited, but I think we saw that for the Terrifier double Terrifier 1 and 2 set.
Yeah.
Bloody Duo, was it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, because that sold out because the initial press run wasn't enough. And then the prices went crazy in CEX, if I remember rightly. It wasn't even limited, but yeah, they went nuts for a few months until the next lot came out. It's I don't think I've ever paid over the odds for a second-hand film. Have you?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I've probably bought stuff second-hand and paid the same price as if I'd have bought it new. But I don't think I've ever kind of paid over the odds.
Yeah.
But CEX are sods for it with things like that. Yeah, I don't know whether they still... When I used to work at MVC, on a Monday morning, you obviously put all of the new stock out. And then one of us would go off and go round Our Price, HMV and all this, and double-check their prices and what have you to see what they were selling things at as well. And I don't know whether CEX kind of do that and go round and go, actually, I mean, they probably don't need to now with everything being online, but they've only got to click online and say, oh, HMV sold out of this.
Yeah.
Great. We'll jack our prices up now then. But they are really bad for it.
Yeah, I think so. John Thompson also said, and later there's a repressing of a release and then there's a price drop after you've paid a top price.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's either the price drop and, for the repressing or there's a just completely new edition. I've seen that happen quite a few times.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was saying last week about somebody had said the week before regarding they got the Twin Peaks Z2A set and they were really happy with it and it was worth quite a bit of money. And now because he's passed away, they're re-releasing that set. So suddenly it's just readily available. And what you had and thought was like really precious is suddenly 10 a penny.
Yeah.
All because David Lynch selfishly died. So him, honestly.
Nicholas, if they ever do this to Highlander 2, The Quickening, you know that the market is totally stuffed. It's all polishing a turd at this moment. At this point.
You can't polish a turd, but you can roll it in glitter, which is what they always say. And that's kind of what these editions are all about.
I know I've mentioned it before, but it felt like that to some extent with Tremors 2. I mean, I think it's a solid sequel. I enjoy the movie, but it's need for a limited edition. Just why? I don't get that. That's purely cash in for that, I think. It was
I think they were almost very careful with that as well to it was the same artwork as the first one, wasn't it? But they just changed the colour. It went from orange to green, didn't it? So I think that almost appealed to people even more because they thought, oh, they'll look great together on a shelf because they will match. It's not completely different artwork. And I think they were crafty, and I think it probably paid off with a lot of people.
Yeah. As Wilco 97, I think I only have 2 small labels on my shelf, so fear of missing out doesn't really apply to me on boutique labels. What does fear of missing out apply to you on other things? What else is there? What else is there that we worry about missing out on?
Yeah, like oxygen, for example.
Jerry Tia is with us as well. Good evening, Jerry. Hope you're well. And we've got Cameron Doon with not got rusty steelbooks, but I've got scratched ones. I think they're easy to scratch, aren't they? If they're on and off a shelf, just the general rubbing that occurs that leave it scuffed.
Which you would think was not a thing with steel, with real steel, hard, heavy steel. You wouldn't think that'd be a thing, but apparently so. Who knew?
We've got a bunch of biscuits from Christmas that were just finished the other day, and that biscuit tin, that's all scratched up. They scratch up pretty easily.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. It's almost like it's made out of the same material. Mad.
Yeah. John Robinson, we need a box set of all 6 Trancers films. Are there 6 Trancers?
Oh my God.
Oh. Nicholas loves your Shining artwork, Glenn.
Oh, thank you, Nicholas. It's an artwork I've always liked. It's quite basic, but it's very effective.
It's good. Rich Hall, what annoys me is when pre-orders go out of stock months before release day. I've seen that quite a few times. It's just can't tell how quick they're going to sell.
Do companies still limit sales? As in, like 1 or 2 per person, or anything like that? Is that a thing?
Not as far as I know. No.
Okay.
I think the only time I've seen it is when did Indicator announce that they'd got some out-of-print titles from returns the other day. They were limited customers to 1 per customer on that, but I don't see it very often at all. Kevin Malloy, have you ever pre-ordered the same title twice from 2 different sites just to secure your copy? I have.
Phil has. Yeah, I haven't.
I've done it a couple of times. I did it with the Friday the 13th box set from Scream Factory. Worried that it was going to sell out after what happened with the Halloween one, and it's a title that's still on the Scream Factory website now. You can still pick it up. But
FOMO with a capital F.
Yeah, that's when the FOMO was really kicking me. Really. Nicholas Dickens, the kicker for me is that they made a brilliant, great release like Robocop on Blu-ray, then 18 months later it's released on 4K. That's frustrating. Yes, that is frustrating. And I can see it happening with quite a few, even mainstream titles now. We keep seeing the Blu-ray release, and then a few months later, if it's done well on Blu-ray, you'll get 4K. I forgot what it was recently. Can you remember? There's one title.
There was a random one which was Renfield.
Yes.
Which got its release, and then, like I say, 2 months later, they went, hey, by the way, we're doing a 4K one now. Hang on a minute. Why didn't you do that 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Is that the one you were thinking of?
Quite possibly one of them, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've seen it with Ready or Not as well. I think that came 4K, didn't it, at some point? Did it?
No.
Am I imagining it?
No, we didn't get a blue over here, I don't think.
No, definitely not. But I thought it was 4K somewhere. But
no, we didn't get a blue. We didn't get 4K.
Yeah. Woody, for 4K, CX are expensive. You pay the same as a new movie in HMV from what I've seen.
Yeah, well, apart from I was in there the other day, and there was a brand new, well, I say brand new, it wasn't brand new, obviously. So I'll shut up because that was a complete lie. It was in CX. It looked as new, was what I was trying to say. Beetlejuice 2, slipcover. Slipcover's immaculate. It was £15. As opposed to going in HMV and paying $25 for a new one.
Yeah.
So they've probably been watched once. They didn't like it, traded it in, job done.
CX are just inconsistent with the price.
Really inconsistent.
Yeah.
And we were saying earlier about them jacking the prices up when they need to be like, to take the, I nearly swore then. I'm having to find to take the mickey and take advantage of people at certain times. They jack prices up, and then they seem to forget to bring them back down again.
Mm.
And then they're just completely out of touch with what's happening.
Yeah.
I think their copy of Aliens is still £25, or it was. And then that's in the 2 for $30 in HMV now. So
It's silly, isn't it?
Out of touch.
Yes, I'm going to do another comment, and then we'll jump to topic. Last movie standing. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Right. What's up, mates? You all right, mate? All right.
You're here about the Faculty remake. I sent it to Phil the other day, and he just sent me a screaming face.
Yeah, they're going to do what they're going to do. I was still got the original, so let's see what they do. They could do something interesting. It could be rubbish.
Again, it's rubbish. Go through the pile of stuff, and you go, okay, that was a fairly good concept, but they made a really terrible film out of it. Let's remake it and make it better.
Yeah.
But instead, they go, okay, what was popular, irrelevant of whether it was good, like The Faculty. You could rewatch The Faculty tomorrow and still be happy with it. But they go, oh, yeah, cash in. Let's remake that because we've run out of original ideas.
Yeah, I think just leave them to it. Things are going to get remade. I'm tired of worrying about it. If you not worrying about it, does that make sense? It's like I've got the original. I'm fine with the original. I might check out the remake if they've done a good job. Good on them. If not, then I can just ignore it and forget it exists, like Roadhouse.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time though, it helps people to rediscover the original. Sometimes people are younger than us. I hate to point that out. They might have not seen The Faculty the first time round. They might watch the remake and go, "Oh, that was okay. I might check out the original."
I love the thing about the original as well. I love the stories from the behind the scenes about the financing of it and things like that. How Robert Rodriguez got one label to do all the clothing and put money towards the film in order to increase the budget or make things work better. And he works things like that. And it's those sort of behind the scenes stories that I don't think you'll get in a remake as well. There's not as much interest in history behind them. But yeah, if they want to remake, go for it. Let's see what you can do.
I don't mind it when it's things like that. So it's really subtle and you don't notice it throughout the film.
Yeah.
You don't kind of watch that film and think, why are all the kids wearing Armani or something like that? It's not as bad as that. It's not as bad as, the worst one I think is Casino Royale, where Bond's driving a Ford Mondeo at one point, simply because Ford had bought Aston Martin, and they were like, "Well, yeah, you can have an Aston Martin, but you're putting a Ford Mondeo in the film."
Yeah.
And then next minute he's driving a Ford Mondeo to his hotel.
Yeah.
It's James Bond, for God's sake.
I still say that the Faculty was Tommy Hilfiger, wasn't it? They did a massive campaign as well off the back of it. But anyway, I've done the topic as pre-order Palooza because I wanted to go through some of the boutique labels that have been announcing, because it wasn't just Arrow that announced, it was Eureka, 101 Films, and something else as well. So the first one I wanted to mention, purely for Jeremy because he's watching, was 101 Films bringing a classic to 4K.
Hang on a minute, is that Helen Hunt?
It was.
Helen Hunt's in Trancers.
Did you see the forehead?
The 5 head, you mean? It's bigger than a 4 head.
Yes. Is it a classic? Do you think it's a classic? I'm not sure.
Who? I've never watched it.
Trancers. I know. I was thinking about Jeremy watching along on the live stream. Seems to love Trancers and always recommends it. I didn't know on this one. I was kind of tempted to order it just to appease Jeremy. I don't know what you think, but why? It's 25 quid. It's a box with a 4K film that already exists, and to be honest, it's on Prime. I need to watch it first before I order it. Do you think I should order it?
No.
Moving on.
No. What you should?
Yeah, there we go, Jeremy. Classics are forever. So it's Trancers. AJ would watch along.
Classics are forever. So is Trancers. So it's not a classic, is what you're saying.
Nicholas.
No, I think you need to watch it. It's the forehead comment. It's a 5 head. We've established it's a 5 head. Yeah, if it's streaming on, you should watch it there, shouldn't you? Really, first.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's got the problem I've got with this. I think we'll probably go into this with some of that Arrow. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it a second until we get on to Arrow, because there's something I wanted to discuss about this sort of release as well, in terms of extras and things like that. But we'll go into that a bit further, because we'll jump onto the other boutique label that's announced. We've got Eureka. They announced their April releases. And again, they've gone heavy with the Asian movies and seem to be doing pretty well with it, but also the Laurel and Hardy short films. Anything in there that interests you, Glenn?
No.
Good. We'll keep the conversation going really, really well.
I'm trying to just keep it flowing. No, there's not, don't get me wrong. I do think Laurel and Hardy are very good. As a kid, I used to watch them. I used to watch them. Buster Keaton, Harold Lloyd, all these kinds of people. I like that kind of humour. It's good. But would I buy a box set of it? No, I wouldn't.
I must admit, in Eureka, because I'm kind of intrigued by this, directed by Ringo Lam, The Adventurers. It kind of intrigues me. I looked at the trailer and thought, you know what, that looks all right. It looks okay. But
why have you done a subtitle to that?
The subtitle is on top.
Yeah, why have you done it? It's like you predicted I was going to go, oh, Phil.
Yeah, I know. I predicted it. I know you. Yeah, well, I'm kind of trying.
I said to you the other day that they're releasing the Shaw Brothers Volume 4 box set, and I assumed you'd be buying it, even though you've not watched Volume 1, Volume 2, and you've not picked up Volume 3 yet, have you?
No. I'll wait it out to get cheaper.
Yeah, I'll still buy it.
Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of Asian movies I want to work through again. Work through now. I've got a list of films I do want to check out. This one kind of intrigues me because it's Ringo Lam. There's some Johnny Toe films that I want to watch as well, but there's a lot to catch up on. I've not got the time, so it won't be a pre-order on that one. I've not got the fear of missing out on it because I think there will be a standard edition. But with the Eureka ones, they come with a nice O-ring slipcover. Is that important for these pre-orders? Do I need the slipcover? No. Anyway, on to the daddy of the announcements, really. I think they are the big boys in the UK for boutique labels, really. I don't think anyone's sort of catching up with them. But we've got the Arrow video releases. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 titles, because these are the April ones, but it's not got the full Man with No Name trilogy on here yet, because I believe it's April, May, June are they a month apart.
It is indeed.
So that was probably one of the biggest ones that they announced. But they've not gone full on with the box sets. They've chosen a couple of other things that are full on with the box sets on there. One of the biggest they've got that is sort of promoted for the month was the FX duo. FX and FX2 Murder by Illusion,
which I found really strange because it was a few years ago now. But was it 101 Films?
Yeah,
it released them as single titles, and you could buy the
double.
I know it's a bloody duo, but that was terrifying. Yes. I feel like it did have a name, the 1 and 2 box set, but it wasn't that long ago. I find it strange that Arrow have now taken it on,
and I think it's one of those double box sets from 101 Films that at one point they actually struggled to shift. I think they were trying to sell it for like £6, and it just wasn't selling at the time. So to go from them 101 Films trying to ship it out the door as quick as they could to a double box set from Arrow like this,
which will sell and sell and sell.
Yeah, this is the thing. Arrow, again, it's down to the label. Arrow have put the name to it. They've slapped a load of crap in there. They've taken note of our comments about it just being printed stuff, and instead of just being printed on paper now, we're getting it printed on sticker paper.
Yeah, man, stickers! Woo!
The stickers. Oh. When did that come into it? Only recently I've started seeing them doing it. But I think they've announced it for...
Nobody will peel those stickers off and stick them anywhere.
No.
You might as well have just done a leaflet with the same artwork on it.
So we've gone from the printed paper tat to printed sticky tats now as extras, but some people could like them and stick them to.
They won't know. Nobody will do it. Or you'll have somebody that orders 2 so they can peel one lot off and stick it to their laptop and go, look. And nobody will know what movie you're trying to say that you're a fan of.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at these stickers.
Let's have a look.
It doesn't really say a lot, does it? Unless you're really, really familiar with those movies.
So they all look like fake film titles that Brian Brown's character will have worked on.
They are, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's going to be nothing. It's going to mean very little to the vast majority of people that see them.
Mm.
If I had one of those stickers on the dashboard on my car when you were in my car or something like that, I don't think you'd even pick up on it.
No, I'd go, why have you got a sticker on your dashboard from FX Murder by Illusion?
From 1986, starring.
That Rolly Tyler, Brian Brown's character, worked on. And why have you taken it out of the box set, Phil? It's now not worth anything.
No. Anyway, I'm curious to go back to the comments because we've jumped quite far through these pre-orders and things like that.
Oh, Rich Hall, yes, The Complete Illusion. That's exactly what it's called. Yes, thank you.
Nicholas Dickens, Laurel and Hardy are great, but it's not worth crazy money.
No.
I think that release was only the short films. Did I read rightly?
Is it short or silent? I can't remember.
I can't remember. Why don't you go and have a look?
Or why don't you click back on the thing, you fool? Bring it back on the screen. Oh.
There we go. You can't see that, can you?
No.
I'll bring it up in a second. We'll carry on through the comments. I'll try and come back to that.
Yeah, okay.
Because Jeremy has just mentioned, by the way, 20th of February in the US, Trancers Noir Cut is coming to full moon streaming exclusive.
Noir Cut. Excellent.
Unbelievable.
Excellent. Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Your input. What do I want? What?
Does it need black and white? It is the silent years. Laurel and Hardy, the silent years, 1928.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah, I found it. It's on there. Let me just bring it up just to show everyone. There we go.
Just to appease everybody.
Which 30 quid.
The silent years.
30 quid.
Maybe they were the years that they weren't talking to each other. They'd had a fallout.
Potentially. Rich Hall, Abbott and Costello were better for rewatch value. Jeremy, Abbott and Costello better than Laurel and Hardy. There we go.
Oh, everybody's putting the boot in Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah. Nicholas, Howard Lloyd was great. Same for Laurel and Hardy on BBC Two on Friday nights in the 80s.
Yeah, I've got a feeling, if you go on at some sort of like early afternoon on BBC Two, they're often playing Howard Lloyd and Laurel and Hardy and things like that anyway.
Yeah.
You can probably catch them all.
Rich Hall, the FX films are ones I love. Well, that set is a hard pass. Blu-ray again. It's 15 quid for the 101 Films release. Nicholas Dickens, I do love FX. They're fun. Not worth more than, say, 40 quid. And it's there when you can pick them up for, Rich has just commented, 15 quid from HMV now.
Yeah, I was just going to look on CEX, in fact, just to see what they were selling them at.
That's without it being in the sales. And from what I remember, it's quite frequently in the sales.
FX, the complete collection, which is FX 1 and 2 at CEX for £8.
Yeah.
There we go. Save your money. If you want it, just buy that.
Yes. Stickers, as Wilco 1997. You can probably get those stickers from Skeggy Market for 50p.
I mean, that's such an English thing to say.
Well, he said, sorry, that was my bad. It said Skegness Market.
Oh, okay.
I added the Skeggy because.
Okay. That's because you're a scumbag.
Skeg Vegas, I could say.
Yes.
That's the scumbag English term, Skeg Vegas. John Robinson, stickers would have appealed to me when I was a kid, but they don't now. Yeah, I think 11 or 12, I think he used to stick stickers down the side of my wardrobe and things, but...
Yeah, I was going to say younger than that. But
yes, Jeremy, 35 of you need to click the like button or a curse on your house. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you, Jeremy, for bewitching people that are watching.
Woody, yes, stickers are lame. Cameron of Dune, I'm going back to my old buying habit, sticking to Criterion. I think they're still a solid option. Just trying to burn through a couple more comments, and then I'm going to jump back to another Arrow title. Brian Smith, all of those Laurel and Hardy episodes are on the internet archive if you really want to see them.
You know what? I nearly said that. I wondered if you went on YouTube and actually had a look whether they're all on there.
I bet they're public domain now as well.
Yeah, I would think so.
AJ Pink, love Buster Keaton the most. There we go. Nicholas Dickens, always click the like button. It's good form.
It's just polite, Nicholas. It's just polite. Yeah.
Rohit, have the volume 1 of Laurel and Hardy set. Found them very entertaining. We'll get the next volume.
Yeah.
There we go.
They are very entertaining. They're very good.
As Wilco, I would have said Skeggy, but others here might not know what that is.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I'll
put subtitles on later.
Yes. Big Jace. Now, if they had lenticular, I might be tempted.
Don't. Oh, I found some lenticular things earlier. I was going to actually show you them. I don't know what I've done with them. I'll try and find them.
Okay, I'll be here on the edge of my seat waiting.
Cool, bro. Yeah.
Jeremy Carr, what's the next temporary tattoos?
No, permanent tattoos. That's the next thing.
Anyway,
film, you get a voucher to go and get a tattoo.
Look at that. My biggest temptation from the Arrow releases. Longest Goodnight. Longest Goodnight.
Yeah.
I want Brian to weigh in on this if he's still in the room. Last movie stand-in, where are you?
Yeah, where are you, Bri?
You may
what annoys me about it, I'd have been excited if there was really good new extras.
This is what
isn't at all.
This is what I've been holding off for with the conversation on Trancers, for example, as well. It's a great movie. I love it. And say it's 4K. They've not got the Blu-ray only. It comes with stickers as well. But
is that a sticker?
Huh?
Is that a sticker, the thin ice?
Yeah, thin ice sticker.
Oh, God. It is the new thing then, isn't it?
Yeah. Seems to be for Arrow. Yeah, the thing with these movies and extras and the boutique labels, they seem to stack it out with extras. They give you a big, long list of extras that are there. But when you look in detail at the extras, there's nothing new on Longest Goodnight, for example. There's nothing new that I particularly want to see. They're all interviews with the small players part of the film. There's no one major in there being interviewed. There's nothing particularly enticing from behind the scenes because they're not people whose names are recognized. They're not people who are recognized as having a big influence on how the movie looks, how it was made, and what went off behind the scenes. They're all very small parts of it. So the extras look huge, but when you read into it, they're actually quite thin. I don't know. Some of these people could have something to share, but my interest levels on listening to these people talk is pretty low.
Audio commentary by Gina Davis's driver on the film.
Yeah. What do you make of the extras on some of these discs? Because I know someone else mentioned earlier about Criterion, which I do love their content because they have something more unique a lot of the times. There's it's been on the Eureka releases as well when they've had Q&A from certain events that they've put onto disc, and that sort of thing sounds interesting because you've got the main players being interviewed. The new interviews that a lot of these are adding, they just seem to be like, oh, interview with the grip from the making of such and such, and yeah, it's no one I recognise. I'm
interview with Samuel L. Jackson's next door neighbour.
Yeah, I'm struggling to see the worth of some of the extras that are included on these boutiques. They feel like they're reaching to have a lot of content, but then at the same time, the content that they're provided when they've got a lot just isn't very good.
Well, like you were just saying with Criterion, as you know, I picked up Uncut Gems on Criterion. The extras are amazing. There's all there's a lot of rehearsal footage and there's audio commentaries with the actual the Safdie brothers, and there's like some Safdie brothers short films that they made and various different things, and Adam Sandler's doing something, and it's all directly involved in the filmmaking process of how that film came to be by the people that actually got it made.
Yeah.
And that to me is much more exciting. And
Absolutely.
as much more exciting than stickers. Let's put it that way.
I agree with you. I'm thinking back to there was the Eureka release of Cujo, and that had like a 90-minute Q&A session from Monsterpalooza on there, which was great. I sat and watched all of that all the way through. But say an interview with the grip for the lighting department, it does nothing for me. The Criterion of, you picked it up, Kronos. It's got that feature on, which is touring Guillermo del Toro's Monster Room, and things like, and it's things like that that really speak to me.
Yeah,
the things that they're bulking out extras wise on. It's the same with Arrow. It's the same with Second Sight at the minute as well. They do it a lot. It's just pretty thin, and if it's not the extras that you're looking for, what else is it? Is it just the packaging that entices you? Is it the booklet that's in there that does it for you? I struggle sometimes to see the worth of some of these limited editions for what I look at, because the extras are getting pretty thin on some of them. They'll stack them out, but it's not always worth.
I think, unfortunately, with the booklet that you often get, you tend to read it once. That's it. It just slides back in the case, and you never look at it again.
Yeah, if at all. If at all. Back to comments. As well, 7. Pick up those stickers off market. Pick up those stickers off market with some quick, cheap slippers and those cheap toy guns that make noises. Have a quick night on rides at Fantasy Island and come back home.
Yep.
Skating stickers.
One of those silly arm things that never manages to quite grip a toy properly, whatever they are.
Jerry Carr, content is king.
Content is king.
It is. It's just the content that they're providing is just weak sauce. For me. As Wilco 97, I value special features more than 4K HDR these days, so I can get my money's worth. Yeah, I'm probably in slight agreement with that. I'd sooner have a nice documentary than the All Singing, All Dancing 4K.
With no extras.
Yeah, Rich Hall, the bonus books with limited editions hold no appeal. It's booklets written by random people with no relationship to the film, only they watched it and are academics.
Yeah, and I feel for them, because there's quite a few, I see it on my Twitter feed where people will go, oh, it was an honor and a pleasure to write my original piece for this thing, and I kind of have to click on their profile to actually see who they are in relation to the film in any way, shape or form. And I feel for them, because obviously it's a big deal for them, but it's just not a big deal for us.
Absolutely, I agree. Pietro Scarpa, I actually never watched the bonus. I'm really not interested in those things.
Okay.
Which is fair. Do you, Pietro, do you go for if you collect boutiques, do you go for the packaging, or is this something else about these that draw you to a boutique label, or is it just generally whatever film takes your fancy? Jeremy, we should start writing angry letters asking for more content on disc and less paper and cardboard. I think it's sometimes that they literally just can't get the good content. They can't get the interviews. They can't get this, that, and the other. And it's whatever they can cling to, they'll grab just to step it up.
Feeling with Long Kiss Goodnight, when you read through that, it's like, oh yeah, we'll release Long Kiss Goodnight and it'll be dead popular, and they've gone, hey, Rennie Harlan, can you? And he's like, I'm too busy. Thanks. What, Gina Davis, can you? Oh, I'm too busy. Thanks.
What could be nice though is if they reached out to any talk shows that these actors did for when they were promoting the film, and being able to grab some of that to be able to piece something together. Because I'm sure I've seen a talk show featured on another disc way back. I can't remember anything about it, but yeah, I'm sure they did lots of promo interviews and things so they could potentially put on a disc. I don't know. That would be more interesting than...
There's so much stuff out there. If you go on YouTube, like I've had a real binge of watching Robert Eggers being interviewed.
Yeah.
And he's interviewed by so many different people, and they do like a full hour-long Q&A, and it's really absorbing. And then none of that kind of material ends up on a disc. and I'd quite happily go back to stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, as well, people like Criterion, if they can get people being filmed in the closet for their YouTube channel, then I'm sure other companies can stump out some cash to get access to these people somehow as well, to do something similar or just 5-minute thing.
There's a great one that's very similar as well, where it's it's in France. It's a French video shop, and they've already kind of spoke to the person very briefly because they've taken a few DVDs and things off shelves and kind of propped them so they can follow the person round, and the person can go, "Oh yeah, this film I love because of X, Y, and Z." There's loads of stuff like that out there. That, if I'm honest, is probably better than Criterion Closet because it's a good 20-30 minute.
Yeah,
you get kind of
Kinetica or something like that. Kinetica or something like that, the French one.
Maybe I'd be guessing if I said, but
Yeah.
they're very good. They're very good. Eggers did one of them recently. It's very good.
Yeah, Nicholas Dickens. If a book doesn't have someone like Kim Newman, I'm not bothered. For me, it's about the quality of the extras, not the extras. I love the extras for Fright Night, a blend of quantity and quality.
That was a good release. That was a Eureka one, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Eureka, all right. It's. I think the ones I'm hitting out at with my comments and bitterness are mainly Arrow and Sick and Sight that seem to be doing weak source extras for me. But again, there's people out there that are going to be interested in that sort of thing, but I want something more. Pietro, I always buy the cheapest version of Blu-ray. I'm really just interested in the movie.
Fair enough. Yeah.
As Wilco 97, I just recently picked up Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit extended Blu-rays with all the special features, appendices, and that's 50 hours of bonus content right there.
I mean,
Peter Jackson with his extras is freaking amazing.
It is the people who love filmmaking and are collectors themselves that know and realise what we would like to see out there.
Yeah.
People like Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
Sam is another good one usually.
Del Toro, as we mentioned before. Yeah. Robert Rodriguez as well. He's done quite a few. He did the cooking schools as an extra for some of his things as well. You remember Once Upon a Time in Mexico, the dish that Johnny Depp's character, I forgot the name, always ordered, that Porco Pibil, is it? Puerto Pibil? I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, Rodriguez. Yeah, Rodriguez did a cooking school for that and showed how to cook it, and that was a great little extra. Silly, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Rich Hall. What I would like is the companies to license the old DVD era documentaries again and include them on the discs. Instead, it's double dipping, hunting for old used 2-disc DVDs from CEX.
Yeah, I mean, like all the extras you used to get on the Criterion Laserdiscs and things like that.
Yeah.
They all needed to continue porting over, and I don't think some bits ever did.
Well, until Studio Canal re-released Flash Gordon, the Brian Blessed audio commentary sat on one of the old DVDs, the silver commemorative edition DVD, and that was the only way to listen to that audio commentary. But thankfully, they re-released it again, so it was there on a better format. But yeah,
from what I remember, you have to turn your volume quite far down when Brian does his audio. Yeah. Booming Brian.
I told you I went to an event with Brian Blessed was doing a Q&A thing, didn't I?
It was in Lincoln.
So it was a Q&A, and then they were going to show Flash Gordon afterwards. And Brian was that kind to his fans that he made sure everyone got seen before he started the Q&A, which delayed it. Then when he was in doing the Q&A, he just completely overran like 2 hours or something like that. Completely screwed up showing the film. And I think the film was meant to start at 10. I think they ended up starting it about 10 past midnight or something like that because he carried on and made sure everyone asked anything that they wanted. It was so courteous and just conscious that people got what they wanted to come for. It was really good.
That people have made the effort to go out there, and he appreciates that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolute brilliant guy. Big Jace. Glenn, where are those lenticulars?
They're kind of just out of reach, Jace. They're not, I feel like there was 2 that definitely came with the Avatar Blu-ray. standing up.
I've embiggened myself again because you've not got your pants on.
My pants on.
Yeah.
It's so tempting to actually walk back round here now with my trousers halfway down my ankles.
Pietro, I don't collect for the packaging. I'm only interested in the movie. Which is fair.
Yeah, which you've already read out as well. But there we go.
Have I? Sorry.
Yeah.
As Wilco97 then. Even just this week, I found Pirates of the Caribbean Trilogy 4 and 5 don't exist on Blu-ray with the bonus disc, all three for less than a tenner at CX. That's like 30 hours of bonus content.
4 and 5 don't exist. It's a fair shout.
Right. A lot of things like talk shows are very expensive with licensing rights.
Oh yeah, maybe actually.
Probably.
There'll be some old like Michael Parkinson interviews and things like that probably won't be now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd grouped them all together for some reason. I found them in the tub. So there was that. I think these just came with the.
Oh, yes, that's a nice one.
With the Blu-ray, didn't it?
I can't remember.
There was that one, and then that one, which I don't know if I can get it going properly.
All right, yeah.
There we go. And then I found this Lost World one where the T-Rex bursts through the.
Nice.
There we go. That's easier to work. That one, tilting it that way. And then I feel like this. I feel like that was a promo thing at
that VHS
Blockbuster, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah. I think it was in the VHS. I think it was within the VHS cover.
Oh, was it?
I think so. Yeah.
I can't remember because it got like a lot of gumph written on the back. I couldn't remember whether it was just a promo thing from Blockbuster. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure it came with the VHS.
I know a lot of people would wish that, but they're wrong. What can I say? But we're not going political. Yes. So yeah, those are the lenticulars that I found, Jace. Anyway, I couldn't remember where they were from.
Yeah. Cameron and Dune, the upcoming Anora Criterion release is stacked with bonus features.
And it's getting a UK release.
Yeah.
Is that where you were just going to go?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Is it May in the UK?
It's May in the UK, May the 5th, I believe.
Cool. When is it in the US? Is it out already in the US?
April, I think.
Oh, that's not too bad of a wait.
Yeah. A couple of weeks after.
Yeah, Big Jace. Guys, did you hear the new 4K cut of Crocodile Dundee Encore cut? They have cut some of the non-PC stuff. Yeah. I heard that.
The Encore cut, they've cut some of the non-PC stuff.
Yeah. It's a victim of its time, really. I think it was did he grab a cross-dresser, or I think someone reported it as a trans person. I think he grabbed them by the crotch and commented something, and I think that's been excised out. But I think for this day and age, I can see why they'd cut it out for a new edition.
I think just put a thing on the start saying
disclaimer.
Yeah, just a bit of a disclaimer. Leave it alone.
AJ Pink, is Pantsless Glenn on your OnlyFans, Phil? No.
Pantless Glenn has got his only OnlyFans. I can't even say it.
What do we search for?
Pantless Glenn.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Nicholas Dickens, just check myself. Friday night was a Eureka release.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Jeremy, pretty lenticular.
Purdy, not a purdy.
Big Jace likes those, Glenn, the lenticulars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and back to Brian Blessed. Yes, the Blu-ray didn't have the great Brian Blessed interview. Love him. Gordon's alive. Rich Hall, just a quick question. Seeing your poster again in the background, Glenn, did you hear last week's news that my mum and dad were going to be so mad at me?
Yeah, it did. I'm intrigued by how they're going to do it, because they've obviously... her brother from Scream 3 is returning as well. So I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how they're... Are they going to do it where it's like Skeet Ulrich kept appearing to Melissa Barrera? Are they going to do it where all of these people are kind of haunting Sydney in some way? And then they're going to de-age all of them? I don't know. I'm intrigued, but I don't know how it's going to work. But
Charlie85, I definitely had that Independence Day VHS.
It was the VHS then.
There we go. Nicholas, oh, good grief. If they've cut Crocodile Dundee, I'm not getting it.
Well, the next thing will be they'll cut the knife thing out of it as well, because it's like, oh, it promotes knife crime. You know, where does it end, really? You've just stop now, please.
It's a few seconds. It really doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
Okay.
It should be done.
Azulko 97. I also found a Harry Potter 8 film set with an 8-hour documentary and other behind-the-scenes content for around £15 in CX when Amazon was selling it for 40.
See, deal and a half.
Yeah.
Deal and a half.
Slipknot fan. I had the Independence Day VHS lenticular too.
Yeah.
There we go. Jeremy, Brian Blessed is amazing. Yes, he is. Oh, I think so anyway. Anyway, I'm going to jump back to the subject because there's another company that announced a pre-order this last couple of days, I think. And this is something that I wouldn't ordinarily collect. I don't think Glenn would either. But it's limited and it looks pretty cool. And is that fear of missing out going to just tease us into it? And that was the Vice Press release of the VHS for They Live. And it's limited to just 500. 500 of these things, Glenn.
So did you say earlier you don't know which VHS tape you'll get, though?
No. If you're going for this edition, there's 5 different styles there. Each style has 100.
Right.
And if you order one, it could be any one of those 5.
Well, that instantly puts me off.
Does it really? Yeah.
Yeah, because I'd want the Obey one.
Yeah. So you're going to be in this situation.
If I was at a show or something, and I saw that, just even if it was a mock video cassette, and I saw that kind of set up and it said Obey on it as just a decorative ornamental piece, I'd go for that. But if I couldn't guarantee getting the Obey one, then I won't bother.
Yeah, that's fair. It's I'd like to go for it. But I think the problem is, like you say, if you can't guarantee which one, you know these are going to be up on the eBay, and you'll be able to pick which exact one you want and be able to charge twice, pay twice the price for the benefit.
Easily.
Yeah. But I think they look pretty cool. I'm tempted to just risk it and go for one and seeing which one I get.
Yeah, I know I'm being really uber particular, but it would have to be the Obey one.
Yeah.
I really like the actual video cassette case as well. That's quite nice. The artwork on there is nice.
Yeah. They're also doing another one. So it's not just this card. I don't know how many numbers are up here, but they're doing this one as well. Just a normal sort of clamshell edition. It's not got the cool white VHS. It's not got the thing across the front, but that's the same price. And I believe that's still limited numbers. I'm not sure how limited that one is as well, but why do we get tempted by these things? Why is suddenly that fear of missing out kicking on something I don't particularly collect? VHS? How long is it since you've collected a VHS?
Oh, long time, which, I don't have the capability of playing VHS, so I wouldn't buy VHS. I don't see the point in that respect. In your video, all the guys you interviewed, they were all collecting VHS and they watched VHS.
Yeah.
And they had a couple of players and things like that. I get that if you're still actually watching the format, but I don't get it when people buy Blu-ray box sets and then don't play the Blu-rays. They keep everything sealed. It's defeating the object.
Yeah.
It's like buying a brand new car and somebody going, "Oh, can I sit in it?" And you go, "Oh, no, I'm not opening the doors. I'm not driving it or anything. It's got to stay pristine. I'm not doing it." What's the point? It defeats the object. But yeah, the VHS, I don't look at that Obey video cassette almost as something, as a VHS, as something I'd buy because I wanted to play it.
Yeah.
Like I said, that was a mock video cassette, just halfway in a sleeve, and you could see that it said Obey. I'd be very tempted if I saw it at a show as a display piece.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I agree. I agree with you. I agree.
It'd have to be the OB one.
But I'm gonna take the punt. I might message the guys, to be honest, at Vice Press to see if I could worm any favour out of them.
If you can worm favour of getting an obey one, then I will order one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that thing, isn't it? It's yeah. Is it really worth it? Is it worth jumping on VHS for these limited things? And they also, I spoke to you about this earlier. This is like the third title that they've done. And I had a look earlier at the Evil Dead one because I quite like some of their designs. And of course, the scalpers on eBay are out there charging like 50 quid each instead of the 25 that they were or something. And yeah, the temptation's there thinking, yeah, if I'm going to get They Live, then maybe I get the Evil Dead 2 one then as well. And then when does it start to turn from being a couple of nice pieces to display on your shelf to then becoming a collecting habit where you're going to try and get every single VHS release just so we've got it as part of their collection?
You know, I love Evil Dead 2, but there was zero temptation to pick that up as a VHS because it's a VHS. I think with the They Live one, because it's almost a, you know, it was about you consuming and buying products and things like that. That almost adds to the value of it to a degree. Yeah. That it says obey and it's a video cassette, and it'd be something that they were mind controlling you into buying. So I get that. You see, that I wouldn't buy because to me that's just buying a VHS.
Yeah.
And I can't play a VHS, so why would I buy it?
It would be that, wouldn't it?
Whereas that, I feel like, is a nice display piece and, like I say, plays into the whole idea of what They Live was all about.
I think the consume one would be potentially okay.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't think I'd be bothered about the watch TV, stay asleep, or probably even submit. I think it'd have to be obey or consume.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's jump back to. I'm interested in the comments on this as well, actually, because not sure how people feel about collecting them, or when people find there's a line from collecting a couple for a particular reason to then getting sucked into collecting them all. Is there a line or anything like that? Once you've crossed it, you onto everything. Yeah. But before I start, Johnny, evening all. Good evening, Johnny. Everyone. Been on the phone for now.
Scotland.
We trust that you will be on for the repeat view, the non-live.
Honestly, Johnny, it's been brilliant. Honestly, it's probably been our best one so far. So you might want to catch up on it.
Jeremy, you guys ever experience FOMO with VHS or Laserdisc or Betamax?
I looked at some Betamax the other day because
not in the day, in the day of them.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever suffer from it when they were VHS?
No, not at all, I don't think.
There was never a worry of anything selling out, was there? Even if it was limited or special packaging, you never had that.
Unfortunately, because of our ages, you know, VHS was readily available because we worked in Blockbuster and things like that. And there wasn't this kind of ordering online and things selling out. If you wanted to buy something, you went down to the shop on day one and you picked it up.
Yeah.
Even if you had to stand out the front of HMV or Virgin Megastore or whatever it was at the time for them to open the doors so you could go in and grab one off the shelf straight away.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Did you say you were looking at Betamax earlier this week?
Yeah, simply because I've been watching Froggy Flips quite a lot on YouTube. I really like him. I like his videos. And he was at a show and somebody had got some Elvira Betamax. But it was like Elvira Presents. So it was obscure 50s, 60s horror movies. And the box art was amazing. And there were big cardboard boxes like this. And they were all immaculate. And he got like 5 or 6 for $100. And I had a look and there's some on eBay. But they're all in the States. You pay virtually the same amount for shipping as you do for the actual item. Yeah. So, but yeah, actual artwork-wise, because it's posters from the 50s and 60s, B-movie, horror movie stuff. I loved it, and they looked amazing. But yeah, I just can't afford them.
That's fair. Back to the lost my words. Back to the VHS, because we've got the comments coming in from them as well. So Slipknot fan just said they're going to sell like hotcakes. Yeah, I think they will. They'll be gone ridiculously quick. I think it's going to be a matter of minutes that they sell out, and if not, it was seconds. I don't think I'm going to have much chance to get it unless I'm online.
Yeah.
Brian Smith, I fear if they start butchering old James Bond movies to keep the PC brigade happy.
Yeah, I mean, James Bond will have died a virgin for a start. He won't have killed anybody. He'll have just told everybody off. Perhaps a slap on the wrist, as long as it wasn't too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. The PC brigade need to do one for me, I'm afraid.
Jeremy, unless I'm playing an arcade fighting game, I do not need randomization in my life. And that's because you don't know what you're going to get with this set here. Charlie85, I have the vice press of my favourite horror film, Evil Dead 2, with the blood splat on the tape.
With that, can I just show something just to prove how much of an Evil Dead 2 fan I am? I'm going again.
Hang on, there we go. I didn't catch you that time.
See you later.
Sorry.
Coming back.
Okay, that's all right.
See ya. Bye.
I don't know what you're grabbing on there, but I'm just going to skip on a second. Rich Hall.
I'm here, look. I'm back.
Glenn, stop. Hang on.
Oh, sorry. Let me put him away. Hang on. He's heavy. I need both hands.
I'll come back to Rich in a moment.
This is the only Laserdisc I still own. My blood red pressing of Evil Dead 2, which was signed by... I mean, it's beautiful that it's blood red anyway. It's covered in fingerprints as well. Oh.
I don't know what your tapping is there.
No, I don't know what that tapping was either.
Go on.
I bet you can't even read that, can you? Oh,
you're not going on camera.
Oh, hang on. Where am I going? That way.
Good God.
Glenn, this blood's for you. Groovy. And that was signed by Scott Spiegel.
The producer.
Yeah, which is just there. Hang on. It's that way up. There we go. Scott Spiegel. But yeah.
Oh.
It was the only Laserdisc I kept. And there we go.
Fair. Anyway, back to Rich. I finally saw They Live last month. As a massive sci-fi fan, I actually didn't like it. I felt it like a very slow pace before Saves the World in 10 minutes, instant resolution.
I've watched a couple of films like that this week.
Yeah. Jeremy Carr, Obey or Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Carr, blind boxes are rubbish. There, I said what I said.
And you said it.
Yes. Slipknot fan, Obey.
Hey.
As Wilco, the last VHS copies I owned were Barney's Adventure Bus and Barney in Outer Space in the early 2000s. They were pink.
Hey, everybody, I'm Barney. Amazing.
Jeremy, I own one VHS of a Sam Hain concert. Came with the CD box set. Need to transfer to DVD. All the rest of my VHS sold a long time ago. John Robinson, I have the first two Vice Press VHSs, so I'll be ordering They Live. You know what, John? I'm going with you. I'm going to order a copy of They Live, I think. And I'm just going to hope that I'll get a good one.
Can I just ask on that, John? And it's not a criticism in any way, shape, or form. I'm genuinely just asking. Like Phil was saying about once you start, where do you stop? Will you continue to buy all of the Vice Press VHS releases now? Or do you feel if there's something that comes out and you go, I'm not really bothered about that, you'll skip it? Or do you feel like you'd be able to skip it now?
Keep an eye out for John's comments. I'll have a look in a second.
John's comments.
Charlie85, I actually burned all my VHS tapes in 2006. Wow. Slipknot fan. Only buy these VHS if you really want them. They're not necessary purchases. No. AJ would be tempted by Videodrome VHS.
Plays into it, yeah.
A gold Last Action Hero VHS would be cool. Cameron of Doom.
Like the gold ticket kind of thing. Yeah, I get that.
Stay away from VHS, Phil. I think I need to, really.
Yeah.
It's going to look cool on the shelf.
Do as you're told, man. What's wrong with you?
Johnny, bad enough for space with Blu-rays, VHS, nope. And to be honest, just why? Just collecting for collecting's sake.
Well, it's a bit like, do you remember when, do you remember when they released titles not that long ago? There was like Airplane, American Wealth in London. It's Paramount then, wasn't it, that did it?
Yes.
And they released Blu-rays, but in VHS size boxes. Because it was things that
here.
Yeah, we had them over here.
I must have skipped by that one.
That seemed even more pointless.
Yeah. John, I remember the Star Wars Executor box set sold out straight away. Yeah. Jeremy. Yeah, I'm not reading that one out. Are those edible, Glenn?
Well, the kind of thong-esque. So my bum has started to eat them, if that's what you mean.
Slim Not Fan, that laser disc is awesome. Yeah, I think it's awesome as well.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Jeremy Carr likes your Barney impression.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, if I actually got into it properly, I can actually do quite a good Barney. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Rich Hall, I feel like the Arrow monthly 4K drops are those once you start, you don't stop type of things. Yeah, I think that's why a lot sell out, to be honest. I think it's just that habit of getting the label release.
It's the American Werewolf.
Oh, yes, I do remember that cover, yeah.
And they had that weird liney, stripy thing next to it. Was there Back to the Future as well or something?
I remember them now because when I was in CX on one of my pickup videos, I found a copy of Flashdance that had that packaging.
Right.
And I think it's the first time I'd seen that packaging.
That seemed even more pointless, that you were buying a Blu-ray, but it was in a VHS style packaging.
Yeah.
And then somebody's just gone, hey, I know, why don't we just release VHSs again instead?
John Robinson, interesting question in relation to the collecting of the VHS. I would think I could just get the films I like. I like to think that too. It doesn't always work.
I just wondered when it, the next time one rolls around and you kind of go, well, I didn't mind that film, but I didn't love it.
Yeah.
As soon as they go, oh, yeah, there's only 300 worldwide, would that be enough to kind of tip you into continuing that collection on?
Yeah. Cypher Signa, evening guys. Your collection, your choice. What you collect, your choice, what you collect, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I think so too, as well.
100%.
I just get swayed into things, really. And
me criticising things like that is just purely my opinion. I'm not dictating whether people should buy them or shouldn't buy them.
Charlie 85. I have the HMV VHS edition of Crocodile Dundee. That's the only one I bothered to get.
Oh, were they HMV exclusives then? I wonder if that was the case.
I don't remember. I think I might have just completely bypassed it. Was there Airplane? Was that part of it and things like that?
Was one, yeah.
I think I vaguely remember, but vaguely.
Blues Brothers was one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go, Jeremy. Laser Blast. The first Puppet Master Tourist Trap recently had Blu-ray and VHS style boxes, which came with exclusive artwork and a little figurine for $40. Oh, plastic crap. The regular Blu-ray releases are $15.
No, he said a little figurine. He didn't say plastic crap.
Yeah, it is plastic crap. It's not tin, it's plastic. The Dark Side, there were HMV exclusives.
Right.
And there was 16 of them.
And you have all 16?
HMV did those exclusive VHS editions. Big Jace has an ET one. So, yeah.
So it must have been Paramount and Universal.
Yeah.
Titles.
It's sounding that way, yeah. Anyway, just coming back. Big Jace, unless they were numbered, John, then you collect the set.
Yeah.
As Wilco, random question. Have you ever bought a 4K and then found out the Blu-ray was actually the better version? I think a good example of this. I think you mentioned it before, man.
Yeah, Point Break. It was such a disappointment of an upgrade that really wasn't an upgrade at all, to be honest.
You reverted back to the initial release.
I reverted back to the blue. Yeah, I didn't think the picture was all that amazing, but the worst thing was the sound mix for me. I found the sound mix really poor. So yeah, I sold it and I reverted back to the Blu-ray. I know they did a Blu-ray release to go alongside the 4K, but I actually reverted back to the Blu-ray that I had originally because I was, to be honest, more than happy with that at the time. I just thought as soon as they did a 4K, it was going to be so much better, and it's a film I love, and it really wasn't. It was a big disappointment.
Fair. Just going back to the VHS style Blu-rays, there were actually 24. There was 2 waves of 12.
Oh, okay. You do a comment. I'm just going to Google it. I'm just intrigued by what else there was.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what there was, but I think you were right in thinking it was Paramount and Universal.
Yeah.
John Robinson's just commented, I only have the 48 hours one. They were based on the old CIC videos.
CIC, they were, yeah.
I think they've got a chunk of them or collection in them. In my local video shop, I'm sure I saw someone with the collection of all the Stripe ones in there. So it's Back to the Future part of it as well. I can't remember.
I feel like Back to the Future was, but obviously people will tell you properly.
I'm gonna kind of move away from the pre-orders and the fear of missing out things for a minute, because I want to talk about what we watched this week as well.
Well, I can bring these boxes up on Google if you want to have a nosy.
No.
Okay.
What do I need to search?
Well, no, I'm just, there was Flashdance, Grease, Jaws, Scarface, The Thing. The Thing one's quite nice, if I'm honest. Top Gun, Cheech and Chong, Back to the Future, 48 Hours, Breakfast Club, E.T., Beverly Hills Cop. And they were all quite uniform on their spines as well, which is quite nice. Damn it.
I'm just going to do a couple more comments then before I jump into... there we go.
Yeah, all quite uniform and quite nice in that respect.
Very good. Just kind of on topic before I jump into what I watched. Friday Productions, good evening. Have you ever been afraid of not having the best setup to enjoy your 4K movies? I'm currently thinking a lot about upgrading my TV to a 4K projector. What do you watch your movies on? I watch mine on, depends where I am. It's a HD television that I've got in the living room. So I'm not even 4K in the living room for the most part. And I'll tell you what, it doesn't particularly bother me anymore. I thought I needed the best. I thought I needed 4K for a long time. I didn't upgrade because of kids and the sticky fingerprints on the screens and general misuse of tech. And it's not bothered me. I've got a 4K player up here in my office and a 4K TV, which is just a pretty standard LG one. It's not OLED, it's not QLED, it's not something else LED.
C-LED, E-LED, F-LED.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm fine. I'm not letting it worry me. I'm not too worried that it's the most perfect presentation or that you can see how many hairs are on someone's earlobes or whatever. Yeah, I just try and enjoy the movie now. I think I don't want to worry too much about the exact picture quality or I suppose it's why I never do any 4K reviews, because I know I've not got the right setup. So I've got the discs, but because I've not got the right setup, I can't give you a good comparison because I don't particularly look at movies that way either. I want the movies for the entertainment. I don't want to be studying certain picture quality, and if there's motion blur, if there's slight grain or whatever effect, I don't let it worry me. I want to enjoy the film. Watch on whatever you want. Just enjoy the movie, I think. What do you watch yours on, Glenn? Do you worry about it?
Yeah, I like seeing people's ear hair. Flip side of that is I've got a 65-inch LG OLED, and so I'm happy with I'm happy with that. And I just make sure I've got a very nice HDMI cable, and then I'm kind of away. But I always thought it didn't. Yeah, exactly. I always thought it didn't. I'd be lying if I said I didn't think it mattered. You just said about you enjoy the film, you're not really bothered about this, that, and the other. I get so much more. It's amazing how much more I appreciate a film by how good it looks. I was saying Terminator, and I did show you a bit of Terminator.
Yeah. You've lived with 4K, used 4K for a long time. So I see why you appreciate that more, because I've not really made that jump to full-on proper 4K with the OLED or anything like that, I don't know what I'm missing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I could see a reason why you wouldn't downgrade.
No, and I think Blu-ray to 4K it's not always about the sharpness of a picture or something like that. It is the amount of colours and how black the blacks are and things like that. It's but it's skin tone. It's, you know, seeing pores of the skin. It, you know, you talked about ear hair and things like that. It's amazing what you do see now.
Yeah.
And like you say, I've got so used to that. When I go back and if I watch a DVD, I struggle. I really do, which amazes me because I remember when DVDs came out, you were like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is such a huge step up from what we were watching on VHS and having to adjust the tracking and all that kind of stuff. It was such a huge leap. And it kind of makes you feel like where you're at now. And I know they're already talking about 8K. There's 8K videos out there and various different things.
Well, I
feel like we're at a point where how much better can it get? But we probably thought that when DVDs came out.
Yeah.
So,
well, I remember coming around to yours when you got Matrix on DVD, and you'd watch this. The what's it scene? Lobby scene. You'd watch that over and over, and you got the surround speakers, and like, oh, look how great it is in this lobby scene, and blah 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 blah. And it was a massive thing. You'd rewatch it over and over because you were so impressed by the picture and everything like that. And that was on DVD.
With my 5.1 Mirage surround sound speakers that I took from Picture Paradise, if you remember, when we went to Lincoln. Yeah. No, it's true. But it's, I love it now. I really do.
Yeah.
4K for me is a big deal. But again, like I say, I always thought the Blu-ray of Point Break was good. And then I thought Point Break would be a step up because there's so many films have been a step up. I mentioned just Terminator, and I think Terminator is such a huge step up.
Yeah.
It looks polished. It looks the best it's ever looked. And I hoped Point Break would be the same, and it just was not at all. Real disappointment.
As Wilco 97, I was actually considering getting Point Break on 4K at some point, so I might just pick up the Blu-ray then, as it will be well cheap by now.
Yeah, I mean, it was dead easy to just pick it up. I probably ended up with the same copy that I actually traded in.
Should have marked it. Jeremy, Lord of Illusion unrated director's cut I watched this week. Never saw that cut before. Been catching up on the series mostly all this past week. But I got something through really early. I've left it downstairs. I was going to fetch it and have it for the live stream so I could wave it around and say, "Oh, look what I got early! Beat all you guys!" But I didn't do that. It's downstairs. I couldn't be bothered to fetch it. I watched Last Stop in Yuma County last night from Arrow Video, and it was okay. It was fine. I gave it a 3 out of 5. It was entertaining. I wasn't blown away by it. I'm not quite seeing what a lot of other people are in it. For me, it was just an average movie, and it's one that I'm going to probably list on eBay because I can't see me wanting to watch it again. It doesn't feel like it needs to be sat on my shelf because I'm not drawn to it in any way. I'm not particularly interested in watching the extras that feature on there, even though the director is involved and it's a bit more in depth. I've seen the film now. I'm okay with it, and I'm not bothered if I see it again or not. I'm not in a rush. That's one of the things I've watched this week. What have you watched this week, Len?
I've been on a mission to continue watching things that I've not seen before. So I've ended up having to write them down. So I've ended up watching a few. I watched May, which was the second Sight release. It was 2002. I don't know how I ended up missing it. There's a guy in there from Clueless. It was probably like around the height of him being famous from Clueless.
Paul Rudd?
No. And it wasn't Dan Hedaya either. It was the dude that... Yeah, anyway. One of them. It was all right. No, it wasn't Brackenmeyer. It was the other guy that was trying to crack onto Cher, and she wasn't interested. She was trying to hook him up with what's her face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, that was okay. It was quite a kind of a compelling watch. I wanted to see how it ended, even though I kind of got a vibe of how it was going to end, and then that's ended up in my CEX bag. I also rewatched 976 Evil. Not a terrible film. It's not terrible, but
directed by Robert Englund.
Yeah, exactly. That's now on eBay. The Invitation, the Second Sight release, not that horrible vampire movie from a few years ago. That was okay. I could kind of see where they were going with it. Last 20 minutes was good, but it wasn't enough to save the film. I then watched Studio 666, which you really didn't like at all.
I wouldn't say I really didn't like it.
You were bored by it.
It was what it was. Yeah, I was just a bit bored.
I mean, it was a film starring Foo Fighters, so it was never going to blow anybody's mind. But I didn't mind it as a little horror romp. There was some good effects. I sent you a little video from it. One of the kills in it that I actually really appreciated. I thought it was quite good. And then this afternoon I watched The Tax Collector with Shia LaBeouf, which, again, I thought the lead was wrong. Shia was okay, but it seemed a little bit odd and weird that he was in there doing a little bit of Latino and then not consistently doing Latino. And the film was okay, but it was forgettable, wasn't it?
After all this average meh sort of reviews, I also went to the cinema and I watched Companion, which was really enjoyable. I really got on with it.
I'm seeing it as well.
Yeah, I thought it was a great little movie. It really surprised me. I thought it was a bit under the radar, that not a lot of people would be watching it, and it would perhaps be a little average little thing, but no, it was really good. I hope it gets some more promotion, and I hope it gets good word of mouth, because yeah, I was good with it. I look forward to a rewatch with with Erin Dawes.
Erin Dawes?
Yeah, the wife.
Yeah.
Look forward
the
to
old ball and chain. Yeah,
and
so all of them fell. Yeah.
I also look forward to hearing what you think as well, because I wanted to hear if you think I'm wrong. But
no, you think I'll enjoy it. So
yeah,
I think
one thing I will say though with Companion, if you've not watched any trailers or not read too much about it, don't seek anything else out. Just try and go in and watch it as blind as possible, because there's a few little things in there that I wasn't particularly expecting, and they made the movie better for not knowing certain aspects of it.
Yeah, I mean, from the teaser trailer, somebody said when the main trailer came out, "Oh my god, I can't believe they revealed that." And then the poster also does the same, because from the teaser trailer, they didn't give that element of the story away.
Right.
And they were hoping that was always going to be the case, but clearly they decided to change the promotional type thing for it. But no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going in open-minded, and it's something I really want to see. So
that's tomorrow we see that, yeah?
Yeah, it is.
Cool. Afternoon, Shane?
Early afternoon, yes.
I'll be expecting your review by evening.
Okay then, sir.
Just going to hop back to the guides for a second. Brian Smith. I do go with Phil on picture quality. I watched The Wrath of Khan on standard DVD today and still enjoyed it. I think that's it. I think you've just got to focus on the content as much as possible, really. As well, code 97. Blu-ray to 4K really depends on the color grade on each and when it was mastered, really. Like if it's reference quality Blu-ray with grade intact and whatnot versus DNR 4K, then I'd rather go with the Blu-ray.
I remember watching 300 on Blu-ray, and obviously that is when you watch it on 4K. Did I say on 4K? I can't remember. But I have it on Blu-ray. That's fine. You know the grain's there. It's not really a problem. That's how it's shot and things. Then when you watch 4K of it, the grain is so distracting. It's like somebody's pebble dashed the screen. It's just really... You can't help see the grain rather than see the person behind the grain.
Yeah.
And I found it really distracting. So, yeah, it doesn't always work.
Fair. Johnny Carotid 70 inch LG 4K QLED. Don't ask what one. Redecorated, so got that for the bedroom, and no interest in the 4K movies as I'm busy building a PC.
At the minute. ATM. At the minute, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And LOL is laughing out loud, not.
Yeah, John Robertson, you see more of Arnie than you want to on the 4K of the Terminator.
The nice thing is, even though, I mean, some of the practical effects, even at the time you knew they were practical effects type of thing, but it doesn't take away from it whatsoever.
Yeah.
It looked like it could have been filmed 5 years ago rather than, is it 30-year anniversary? 40-year anniversary.
I don't know. Yeah, I bet it's going to be 80s.
Yeah.
Jeremy, Yuma County was good for its time, now falls by the wayside. Sad to say, but it's true. It's time. It's only a couple of years old, isn't it?
It was only last year, wasn't it?
For 2023, I think. Something like that.
Oh,
yeah, right. I just don't think it. I don't think it took things far enough. The dialogue wasn't smart enough or anything like that. It was just average. It was average for me. 3 out of 5. I'd say, being generous. Johnny 85. I watched Wim Wenders' Perfect Days this week and some classic Twilight Zone episodes.
I've got the Twilight Zone box set, and I'm only halfway through season 1. And Whitney Bobs. I'm determined I'm going to get through it, but it's just sitting down to do it. Like I say, I'm prioritising getting through films that I've not seen. That pile there.
You got some work. Robert, I watched Furiosa today. Amazing.
Love Furiosa.
I've not watched it yet.
Great film. I'm not a huge Chris Hemsworth fan, as you know, and I think that's his best performance in anything. I think he's really good.
Johnny Carotid. Z Nation rewatch all week. Might pick up the Blu-ray before it disappears from streaming. I never watched that, I don't think. I might have watched half an episode at some point, but it's never one I followed.
I think you were so bogged down by Walking Dead and stuff, weren't you? Rather than
essentially. Too much. Rich Hall feel like something's saved by 4K. Take Avatar, for example. If you see it on a tiny phone streaming, it's down to the story to do the heavy lifting. It won't sell copies like the big screen.
It's one of the only 3D films I liked.
Yeah,
3D was very.
3D was solid.
And then I've always said to you, one of the most surprising 3D films that I enjoyed was where they did Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Right.
That works so well. The underwater stuff and the bubbles were kind of passing you, and it was really well done. But anyway, nice. We're not talking about 3D films. Sorry.
Farewell, Anthony. Anthony says goodbye until next time.
Bye, Anthony. You're bored. That's fine.
As Wilco 1997 is the film Civil War worth a watch. Have you seen this, Glenn? Because it's one I've not watched yet.
I only got 20 minutes in, and I think we both kind of said this probably isn't the night to watch this because it's very heavy from the word go, which I'm not surprised by, but it's full on kind of heavy straight away. And I think we were probably in the mood for something more light-hearted. So we only watched the first 20 minutes, but we will go back to it because I know a lot of people love it.
Fair. Have you got anything else to add? Have you made any pickups this week or anything?
What have I had arrive? Uncut Gems, as I said, on Criterion. What else has arrived? I've had other things arrive through the week. Read another comment or something, Phil, while I have a look, so I can't remember.
What's on the agenda for this week? And then John Robinson, are either of you going to HorrorCon? Ty West has been announced.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I went to HorrorCon. Was that last year or the year before?
The year before, it'll have been.
Was it? Because there was a lot of people from like Terrifier there and stuff like that. I really enjoyed it. It could do with being bigger, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I would like a proper kind of... Because there's an area with stalls and things like that, but that could do with being 2-3 times the size.
Yeah.
but they allow a lot of space for the stage and the seating and all that kind of stuff, and then everybody signing. Yeah, it's a good event, and it's in. Oh, not right. I went to the Manchester thing. What am I thinking of then? There's not horror one in Manchester, and then the Sheffield one is called something else.
There's a new one now as well that's down near London. That's starting up, and I forgot what that one's called, but I think that's on in April.
Right.
I don't know if they've got Robert Englund signing there.
Right. Okay.
I believe. I can't remember.
I might be getting that the wrong way round. I'm just going to double check.
As Wilco 97, it's only 10 minutes away from me in Sheffield. Rich Hall just commented, I rewatched the entire Spartacus TV show. Given the new season trailer came up, it was time to see if it held up, and it absolutely does.
Yeah.
While you're browsing, Jeremy.
Sorry, for the love of horror in Manchester. That's what I went to. Sorry.
Yeah, I can't think what the London one's called, but that's a new one. Starts in April. But I think we need to get to one this year.
Well, we were going to do the Sheffield one, weren't we? And then I don't remember what happened. Something happened, and it just went by the by.
I have to do a poll, see who's going to turn up to which one, and then just go to the most popular.
We can do a meeting with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeremy, what's your favourite seafood dish?
I like all food, so I see food and eat it. Favorite seafood dish? It's a good question, Jeremy. It's slightly off topic. For Jeremy, that's really off topic. Somebody that brings us back around, not sends us off on a tangent.
I like a nice tuna steak.
Right, okay.
I wouldn't say it's my favourite fish dish, but I like fish and chips as well.
I like a bowl of mussels with some nice kind of soda bread or something like that.
Swordfish, I like as well. They're more meaty. I like the more meaty fish.
Yeah, I mean, I like things like lobster and what have you. I had a really nice seafood linguine when I was on holiday last year at a seafood restaurant. That was very good.
Fair.
Anyway, back onto topic.
I'd like to watch Band of Brothers soon, as I've never seen it, but I have a Blu-ray of it with Pacific included.
Nice, yeah, those were very good.
The Masters of the Air, the other one that was went to Apple TV in the end, that was a really good one as well. That kind of falls into that. It's the Band of Brothers, the Pacific, and then Masters of the Air. But Masters of the Air was solid. It was solid.
It had Elvis in it, didn't it?
Yes.
Can't think of his name. There we go.
Yeah. Spartacus TV show. I've been tempted for a rewatch. Pain to find, so Blu-rays buy is on the card. That's fair. Jeremy, we'll make this one. We'll start wrapping it up now, I think, mister. What FOMO do you experience outside of the film realm? Is there anything? I think I went through a patch of certain CDs, certain edition of CDs at one point, when I think it was Slash and Miles Kennedy. There was a magazine that had the CD on it. You sort of bought the magazine with the CD on, and I was desperately seeking that out, but I wouldn't say it's as strong a FOMO as a fan of the movies.
No, I don't think there is, to be honest. I don't like when, like I say, things like I was saying about watching Froggy Flips, and he goes to these flea markets and things like that, and what we refer to as a car boot sale. Our car boot sales are hideous. It's people selling absolute crap that's falling apart, and you've got a queue a mile long that as soon as it opens, everybody's piling on top of each other to try and buy crap for 10p each. Froggy Flips goes to these markets and flea markets and things like that. It's so civilized. Everyone's nice. They've got really good quality things out, and so I'm there's a FOMO of being able to pick things up in the States, for example. Like I was talking about those Elvira Betamax.
Yeah.
They're fairly reasonably priced, but by the time we actually add taxes and shipping and all that kind of stuff, it's crazy. So
yeah. Well, I watch the. I mean, you speak of Froggy Flips. I watch this Pixel Game Squad, and they go out to these swap meets and things like that, and they look for mainly the retro games, but they'll also have other film-related memorabilia that they'll pick up along the way. And the stuff that they're picking up in the swap meets and the stuff that I see on the stores in general, hands down beats anything that we'll see market or car boot wise in the UK. It's just so much better, and there's all sorts on there. But yeah, even general swap meets just look so much better than anything that we'll see in the UK.
Yeah,
I think AJ just commented, used to go to car boots in my hometown, 10 DVDs for £1. That's really good.
Yeah.
Jeremy, yeah, flea markets are big here. Yeah, they look good as well. Rich Hall, the Froggy videos, everyone is polite and it's all tidy. The UK car boot videos, it's like scalpers talking about trainers running between cars. Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Anyway, Mr. Glenn,
okay,
I think we're going to call it there.
Okie dokie.
So if I've missed any questions to anyone, I apologise. We might 1 week, I don't know what Glenn thinks, 1 week maybe see if we can run it a bit longer so we can get through everyone's questions if we've got a nice big meaty topic and lots to talk about 1 week.
Yeah.
But let us know. I'm thinking of a couple of
make
things.
up for the fact that what's happening next week, Phil.
Yes. I've got to... Well done. Thank you. I've got to remind everyone, there's going to be no stream next week. I'm sorry. This is... it's my fault. I'm going away with the kids. Basically, I thought about taking my laptop and seeing if I could do a stream, but the place where we're going is just not the space to be able to get out of the kids' way while they're in bed and do a stream. So, unfortunately, there'll be no live next week, but we will be back the week after. Don't know what you think to that. I hope that's okay.
I mean,
I'm sorry. I feel like I've let you down. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching. It's truly appreciated. If you're not already, before I close it all down, if you could hit a like, that would really, really help. And until next time, we'll catch you all later. Farewell. Take care. Peace.
Bye, guys.